behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Palm Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We got a great interview coming up shortly. But don't forget about the subscribe button, the bell buttons below you there. You'll always be notified of any new episodes coming your way. And leave a comment on the comment section. We'd love to hear from you there. And pay attention to the description part and closing credits, because we'll have contact info for you. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that. From Fort Bragg, California, for the third time, we have Little Ozzy. He's a Ozzy Osbourne tribute artist, and he's got some updates for us, and I know you want to stick around for that. But before we get into that, let's have a quick word from the Caden Gordon Show. So don't go away. We'll be right back right after this.
It is Caden from the Caden Gordon Show. Today's best country mix. Check out my show at thecadengordonshow.com.
Okay, we're back, and with us for our third time on our show from Fort Bragg, California, we have Little Ozzy with us. Thanks for joining us, Little Ozzy.
How you doing, Paul? It's good to see you again, brother.
Yeah, it's always good to have you back. I know a lot of things have happened. You know, I think it has been a couple years or more. Maybe you could update us on some things that's been happening to you.
Wow, yeah, it was. I think it was, when I was in St. Augustine, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's been a few years. We keep in touch, and I'm glad that we do. Man, a lot's going on. You know, we lost Susie. That you did a special on that, and that was terrible. But since COVID and right after that, when we talked and did our interview, a lot has taken place, Paul. I got a call 2.5 years ago from the owner of the Micro Wrestling Federation. And they were doing a show on, actually, no, he booked my band because they were doing a show on I get them confused, on the Discovery Channel called Big Little Brawlers. And it was going to be a full season. And wow, I came right in at the tail end of it. They booked Little Ozzy for their final episode for the season. And it was going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. And it was called Micro Fest, which is kind of cool. So Jack, the owner, Jack Hilligas, is one of the most coolest guys I've ever met in my life. He's got an incredible story. He's been doing this for about 6 or 7 years, and it has just hit the moon, man. So he called me and asked me if I'd come play a show there, and I did. And we talked on the phone a lot, and he asked me if I wanted to be a part of it. So, you know, the kids moved out, Johnny and Mallory moved out, and we had a 30-foot RV. We still have it. If anybody wants to buy it, you can have Little Ozzy's RV or take over payments. We hate it. But what happened was I agreed to come sing songs. I do 3 Ozzy songs a night, dressed like Little Ozzy, and I've learned to commentate the matches now. So I am the commentator as well as the performer, the pre-show warm-up for the Micro Wrestling Federation. I'm stationed in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, where I work about 4 hours a day, 4 days a week. And it's the best job I ever had. So I spent the first year with my wife and my dogs in an RV, and we did 240 shows in 1 year. And it was an incredible time. We had wonderful times. We had horrible times. We broke down. We cried. We screamed. We hollered. And we got through it. And so after a full year, the boss decided to move me to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, where we have our home base, the Microtorium. And Hulk Hogan, by the way, has opened a store up right before he passed away across the street. And so it's kind of a little wrestling commune there. And after Ozzy's passing, you know, I do these shows here and there. There's a famous country artist named Oliver Anthony. He did a song called Richmond, North of Richmond. And I was part of a show that my uncle gave him 11 years ago. It was one of his first gigs ever. And I wasn't really aware of that until down the road later when he called me and asked me if I wanted to come do War Pigs with him at a homecoming show in front of 10,000 people. And that was a year ago, August. So that being said, then I go to Monsters on the Mountain and get to do a skit with Quiet Riot, Crazy Train on stage as Little Ozzy. And so that took off from there again, kind of a new boost here. And I was asked to come on the Monsters of Rock cruise. So Johnny and I went and performed with Sebastian Bach's band. Sebastian Bach did backing vocals on Flying High Again, which I don't care what anybody thinks about Sebastian Bach. He is one of the coolest dudes I've ever met in my life. He's so tall and he was so gracious, and his wife and his child was so precious, and they just made us feel like we were at home on their tour bus. And so we got together with a great piano player. He plays for Vixen. He plays for so many people. You can look him up. And he is just incredible. His name is Tyson Leslie. He lives in Nashville. And he is a keyboardist, pianist, extraordinary musician, guitarist, bassist, whatever. He's a very talented man. We were very gracious to have him on there as well. And we rocked it out. We did the pool stage on deck. We did. I got to do Born to Be Wild with Ted Poley from Danger Danger. Mm-hmm. And then we got to perform the pre-party, which was at Magic Casino in Miami before everybody boarded. And that was huge. That was unbelievable. And so things have just been kind of, I've been sitting around waiting and still know the Little Ozzy stuff. And we got the band in order. And I took 7 weeks off to come out here to Northern California so my wife could be with her grandsons. And she misses them a lot. So we've been out here about a month. And it's been incredible time off. And then Ozzy dies. And you're never ready for it. It just happens and you got to deal with it. So, when I heard the news, I was laying in the bed. And it was very upsetting to me. I've never cried over celebrity. I spent about 10 minutes, with my wife. And I just kind of lost it a little bit because it was sad. And it still gets me a little upset talking about it now. I deal with things a lot differently. It's a little fire under my ass to get out here and spread the Ozzy Osbourne music. I was blown away completely at the response that I'm getting. I didn't put anything out there until the following day because it's a touchy situation. I get a few haters come on and making money off a dead guy, things like that. And, that's not what it's about at all. And what I feel like a lot of fans have reached out to me and said, you have a special connection with the Osbournes, and Ozzy himself has given you his blessings with your tribute band. And so they feel a connection that I feel to these people. So I guess in a way I feel responsible to get out here and help these grieving souls and these grieving people out here and give them the best Little Ozzy show I can possibly do. And that being said, I'm getting calls from Europe, Brazil, all over the world, the U.S., and there's a few options on the table with management, and it looks like it's coming together. So the only thing I have solid right now is going to be Halloween in a place called Ohio Powell, Pennsylvania. And I'll have that on my website at littleozzybites.com as soon as I have time to update it all. One of the management companies is going to be calling me tomorrow to go over some dates. It looks like our first run is going to probably be the East Coast. And as far as in concrete, that's the one that I just got back. And I have also a Ocean City, Maryland. I'll have to update those dates because there's so many dates being thrown at me right now. But you can look September and October and November for Little Ozzy on the East Coast as far as Pennsylvania, New Jersey area, all the way down the coast through the Carolinas, Virginia, into Florida. So I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of new fans and a lot of love out there, man. I got a lot of Ozzy pent up inside this little body, and I'm ready to go out here and do it.
Okay, that sounds good there, Little Ozzy, and that's littleozzybites.com, right? That's your.
It is, yes.
And as he said, he'll have concert dates, and if anything new comes up, just keep checking up on it. I'm sure something new will come in your town, and you can check out Little Ozzy here. He's really awesome. And the video we're going to play in just a minute, though, it's called Diary of a Madman. And I think this is one of the best Little Ozzy songs I ever heard you do as Ozzy.
Yeah, it was done a couple years
Is
ago.
this one of the favorite songs for you to do as Ozzy? I'm sure you.
I'm gonna tell you something. I was always disappointed that I couldn't sing that high, and I still can't sing a lot of the early Sabbath because he just has a higher range when he was younger, and I'm 58 now. And so a few years ago, 3 years ago to be exact, I put that up and did that with a home recording studio device I use, and lo and behold, I hit every note on there, and I've been told by fans he's some just like Ozzy on this, and I'm very proud of it. We tune a half step down when we play live because that's easier on everyone. I think Ozzy tuned a whole step down later in his life, but the beauty of that is, you really can't tell the difference. It actually sounds a little heavier, so I like it. It's more comfortable, and I got 90 minutes. I got an hour and a half of Sabbath and Ozzy. Vintage Sabbath and vintage Ozzy and solo Ozzy, and we're really excited. And you can also find me on any social media platform if you just look for Little Ozzy Official or Little Ozzy. It's there: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, check him out on all those social media sites. Almost every one of them, I think he's on, and we're going to get to that song in just a moment. But Little Ozzy, thank you again for coming on the show. You're welcome back anytime. So.
Paul, I appreciate you, man. It feels like a home with you, brother.
Well, I appreciate that. You made my day, Little Ozzy.
You made mine too, Paul. I'm glad I could, and I'm glad I could be here for you, and I'm glad we made it happen again. And we're going to do it again, I'm sure.
Okay. Well, here it is. Little Ozzy doing Ozzy's song Diary of a Madman. It begins right now.
a seeking mind and spirit.